Honolulu is a place where I finally learned the port and starboard sides of a ship. On large ships, I still get lost and confused. I had to go out on deck to see which way the boat was traveling to locate myself. This is funny. When you first get on a ship, you have no idea where you are. And there's a system in a ship that you can use to figure out, and they mark, well, Navy ships, they mark it very clearly, but it takes a little time to get used to, and apparently he didn't get taught. Mm-hmm. We finally left the dock, and as we pulled out of Pearl Harbor, saw the ships with our planes coming in. We never saw our planes again, and little did we realize what would happen to Pearl Harbor in just a few short weeks. So this is pre-Pearl Harbor. So they set sail, they're out at sea. Back to the book. One morning when I got up and went out on deck, I noticed islands all around us. We were finally in the Philippines. Just as soon as we got off the ship, we loaded into army trucks and were taken to Fort McKinley. I should point out here that during the peacetime, I like this part. I should point out here that during peacetime in the Philippines, prior to our arrival, the military was on duty only in the morning from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It was thought that a white person could not survive in tropical sun after 11 o'clock. What a deal they had. And to top it off, time spent in the tropics, Hawaii included, counted as time and a half toward retirement. Another reason we were so hot is when we first arrived in the tropics was the fact that we still had our winter uniforms. So I thought that was pretty funny to think about that. That's not that. This is 1940s. They're thinking, look, you're not going to make it. Hey, listen up, white boy. You're not going to make it past 11. You need to go back in the shade. Back to the book. As long as I was at Fort McKinley, about 2 weeks, the only thing I ever did was dig trenches around the fort. These were not foxholes, but long zigzag trenches. We were undoubtedly preparing for war. And then they go out, they catch a movie, and back to the book. After the movie, we took a tram or trolley back to the gate at Fort McKinley. Before going to our tent, we decided to stop at the mess tent for something to drink before retiring, and that is when we heard that Pearl Harbor was being bombed by the Japanese. This message came from a radio that was playing in a mess tent, and I suspect we were one of the first to hear the news. I was not terribly surprised or concerned because we'd been preparing for war, and now it was here. I was not frightened by the news and remember going to bed and immediately falling asleep because the hour was very late. I know I would have been frightened if I had known what terrible destruction the Japanese had inflicted on our forces at Pearl Harbor. We never knew about our terrible losses until the war was over. I am sure our top brass knew, but we were never told, which I am sure was best.